Hello, I'm Robin Brannon, founder and director of Better Together Family Therapy in Kensington, Maryland. Let's get the formalities out of the way and just say this conversation is not intended to be a therapy session or to offer medical advice or legal advice of any kind. It is just an opportunity for us to experience a moment of calm and a moment of connection at the end of a very difficult week. Here in the Washington, D.C. capital area, we've had some very challenging events and some very rapid changes happening this week. A number of our federal workers in this area have received notice that they have 8 days to decide whether to leave their lifelong jobs and careers or not. There has been a tragic plane crash over the Potomac River. We have had quite a few very difficult and challenging moments. And so, when there is a difficult moment like this, the best thing we can do for ourselves is to create some space for human connection and to bring out the resilience in ourselves, the best in ourselves. And we do that by connecting with others. We also do that by being deeply in touch with ourselves. So I'm here to provide a little bit of that for you all this week and hopefully ongoing. This is a video that you can come back to as often as you need to. So let's start with just grounding ourselves in the space that we're in. I'd like you to take a moment and set down whatever is in front of you. If your phone is in your hand, find a place to rest it so that you're not holding it. If you have a pen or paper or another project in your hands, set that aside. If it's comfortable for you to have a fidget in your hand while we are working together, that is absolutely fine. You can keep that in your hands. But anything that's going to be distracting or feel like multitasking to you, set that aside and just give yourself these next 5 minutes to belong just to you. And now that you've done that, I want you to look around the space that you're in, and I want you to find 5 things you can see. They can be any 5 things, or you can look specifically for 5 things that bring you joy or a feeling of positivity or hope. Now that you have those 5 things, look for 4 things that you can hear. You may want to close your eyes for this one because it heightens your sense of hearing a little bit. So close your eyes if you're comfortable and safe doing that where you are, and just listen for the sounds that you can hear. What are 4 things that you can hear? All right, now let's look for 3 things that you can feel or touch. Okay, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. A little side note as we're doing this, these are also areas where you can really influence your mood and yourself in your environment. So if you noticed maybe some smells that weren't your favorite, or a particular taste or a particular touch that you didn't love, that's an opportunity to introduce a different texture, a different scent, maybe through some essential oils or a lemon or some basil or some mint, something that feels really good to your sensory system. You can introduce those things through all of your senses to create a little bit more of a sense of peace, a sense of calm throughout your week. So now that we've grounded ourselves in the environment that we're in, I'd like us to go inside for a moment and really ground ourselves in our bodies. So wherever you are, I'd like you to get as physically comfortable as you can get. If you're sitting in a chair, what we usually say is put your feet on the floor, let your back rest against the back of the chair, and you want to sit soft but tall. If you're sitting on another kind of furniture, you're in another kind of space, do what you can do to let the furniture or what you're sitting on hold you and to still keep your airway as open as possible. And you'll be able to tell if your airway is open by really taking some deep breaths. So we're going to breathe in through our nose and slowly out through our mouth. In through our nose and out through our mouth. And let's do one more in and out. Now let's turn to the sensations that we have within our body. I want you to just slowly move your attention from the top of your head, down your spine, out to your fingertips, and slowly down toward the floor. And as you're doing that, I would like you to notice any places where you feel tight or tense. And just bring a little attention to those places. Just notice them. You might say to them, I notice you, I feel you, I see you, I honor you. And you're going to let that tension just release when it feels ready. If you need another moment to do that, pause here for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and move on to scanning our body for any places where we feel especially warm or content. So again, starting with the top of your head, going down through your spine, out through your fingertips, down through your belly and your hips, and down into the floor. Noticing any place that you feel especially warm or content or at peace. And now I would like you to ask yourself, where in my body does my sense of self live? You're looking for where your personal power resides, where your sense of well-being resides. Where is that sense of yourself in your body? Bring your attention to that place. Don't overthink it. Just follow your instinct. Bring your attention to that place. And I would like you to give that place a color or a sound, perhaps a music note. Assign a color or a sound to that place in your body where you really feel connected to yourself. And then I want you to think about experiences that you have had in the last week that made that spot glow or grow or expand. Maybe you experience that as light flowing outward, or sound flowing outward, or even bubbles flowing outward from that spot in your body. I want you to think about an experience. And if it's hard to find one from this particular week, think through any time in your life. But you're looking for an experience that made that light or that music within you grow or expand. And just notice what it feels like to have that expanding energy, that growing sense of self. Take a moment to consider whether there are any connections in your life that really make that sense of self glow or grow or ring true. Perhaps you feel that when you touch your partner. You might feel that when you have a close friend nearby, or when your child crawls into your lap. Any connection that you have that really strengthens that light or that music within you. And I want you to just quietly to yourself say hello to that person. Just greet that connection. Notice the part of that connection that lives within you, right? Our relationships are made up of two parts. They're made up of the back and forth interaction that we have with a person and the sense of that person and that relationship that we carry within us. And that sense is with you at all times and is a source of strength. So just mentally say hello to that person. Acknowledge that connection. Feel the music or the light within you swell and expand. Notice where it goes when it expands. Does it go out through your fingertips? Does it rise to the top of your head? Where does it go? In this beautiful light or this beautiful music is the good that you can do in the world. But in order to do that good in the world, that light has to be bright. The music has to be vibrant. It has to be as strong as it can be. And to make it as strong as it can be, you need connections, you need moments that strengthen it throughout your week, every week. So, as we're sitting here together and we're holding on to that light or that music and letting it flow from us into the broader community, I want you to make a promise to yourself to do something each day that brings awareness to that light and that music within you and that gives it some power. And it could be anything. It could be connecting with someone. It could be doing something that you especially enjoy. It could be reading stories of hope and human connection. Make a commitment to yourself right now to do that, to strengthen your light, to strengthen your sound, so that we can have music in the world and we can have light in the world, even as there is darkness around us. Being the practical person that I am, I'm also going to ask you to put it on your calendar. Set a daily reminder for yourself or an alarm for yourself that will bring up this commitment for you so that you have time, you make time to visit with yourself, your strength, your light, your music on an ongoing basis. We need you. We need your love in the world. We need connection to you to keep us all whole and supportive of each other during a very, very difficult time. I encourage you to come back and watch this video regularly, just to tune back into who you are and what you have to offer. I encourage you, when you make a connection with someone, you can share this video with them. You're welcome to just share the link. But when you make a connection with someone, share stories of hope and positivity with that person. Often the most beauty comes out of us in the moments of greatest challenge and adversity. So let's stay connected. Let's spread the hope. Let's spread the positivity so that we all have the strength and the power we need to take action when necessary, to heal when necessary, to nurture each other, stand up for each other, and care for each other during this time. We're here for you. Please stay connected to us and to each other. You can find us at betterfamilytherapy.com. Have a peaceful and hopeful week.